So, any questions that come up in your mind and from your mind there as well?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that people need to kind of think about foods and how it may affect them biochemically, and then realise that certain foods that you eat are going to make it more difficult for you to resist those foods in terms of the addictive element, and in terms of how they may interact in your body to stop you feeling full, so you eat more food, and how if you reduce and you spend time concentrating on cutting out certain types of food, particularly ones that are high in sugar, that you actually may find that even your appetite and everything changes a little bit. Ends up meaning that you don't feel that you're resisting food all the time, and it's a torture to go around and not eat food and feel that you're kind of not enjoying life because you can't have the foods that you crave. To get rid of that craving, to think about how diet can change so those cravings, you don't have them anymore. And certainly in my own experience, I found that works. And again, be aware that there's nothing wrong with having the occasion. You shouldn't berate yourself. There's nothing wrong with having treats. People like to have treats. The problem is with many treats part of our regular diet, and that's what we need to try and get that balance with.
It's quite scary to think that you've damaged yourself by doing basically what we have done. Because we've all reviewed diets, haven't we? And I kind of feel we need to start fresh.
I feel like the amount of times I've been to doctors about my weight, why they haven't told me this, why I've been advised to have to
a low fat diet.
Why haven't they told me? Why don't they know? Or is it just they're just following guidelines? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think you're absolutely right. I think that interestingly, I'll be honest, most doctors, and up until for a few years recently for me, we just follow conventional wisdom, which isn't very helpful really. And most doctors don't really have a good understanding of nutrition. And it's very simple just to say eat less, exercise more. It's just easy to say. But for the person on the other end, it doesn't help. So you're absolutely right.
It's interesting for me because it goes against everything that I want to use the word loosely being taught, really, because it is a teaching. It does sort of become ingrained very much. And your first 5 words, eat less and exercise more. How many times have I heard that in my life?
Yeah, absolutely.
And quite frustratingly so, because everyone says, it's an excuse. You can exercise. Well, I suppose I could, but then it's down to me and my lifestyle, and actually, sometimes that's not possible, depending on where I am in the country or the world, and what I'm doing. So those 5 words are almost dreaded for me. What you say here, the biochemical imbalance also increases the risk of diabetes, cancer, and heart disease. What sort of 4 words? Diabetes, cancer, and heart disease are not made to panic.
Exactly.
And then it goes on to say, fake foods for the most part are sugar, refined carbohydrates, bread, pasta, pastries, fizzy drinks. Well, that's 90% of my diet, so that's pretty scary.
Insulin is the fat storage hormone, but it's a crucial, essential hormone within our body that drives nutrients into cells, essentially, right? But what happens when we introduce sugar and refined carbohydrates into the system is that system almost gets hijacked, right? So whenever you start eating these foods like bread, pasta, pastries, fizzy drinks, and even fruit juices and things like this, that glucose that you're taking on board is driven into your fat cells, right? And the insulin actually keeps it within your fat cells as well. So what essentially happens is that all of the carbohydrates that you're taking on board get converted into fat, and they're kept there. And if you keep on eating these sugary and refined carbohydrates, then it keeps the fat there, and it's almost like it quarantines your body fat off from your energy stores, right? And you get those sort of peaks and troughs and things like that. What's happening there is that because you're not able to access your body fat for energy, right? Because we've all got a decent amount of energy in fat. Fat is the most energy dense calorie There's a reason for that, so that, you know, in hard times we'd be able to call upon that. You know, for instance, I'm about 12% body fat. That gives me, well, I think it's about 120,000 calories worth right there. So sort of, you know, just imagine how much it is in other people as well. We actually really have two fuel systems. We should be able to access our body fat for energy, as well as the carbohydrates that we take on board. And the sugar and refined carbohydrates are hijacking this system so that you're only able to run on carbohydrates, and that's when your body fat stays there. And this is why it's got nothing really to do with calories, right? It's not a problem of physics and even psychology to a certain extent. It's about the biochemistry, about what's going on.